Welcome in everybody to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host Michael Darcy, and today I'm joined by Michael Hebner, and we're going to break down if Darwin Thompson can be the Kansas City Chiefs' #1 running back. Chiefs Kingdom, we have a very interesting video topic for today. Can Darwin Thompson take over the reins as running back for this Kansas City Chiefs team? You know, Chiefs Kingdom, me and my co-host Michael Hebner get along and agree on most things, but this is one topic that we just do not agree on. I personally believe that Darwin Thompson is ready to take over the reins as the running back for the Chiefs. Right now, he looks very good. This is coming off a very impressive performance against the Raiders, where he had 11 rushes for 44 yards, and he scored his first rushing touchdown in a Chiefs uniform. And this is coming off of what has been a very disappointing first few games, because the Chiefs have done a pretty poor job of utilizing him, and I feel like in a game where the Chiefs really needed to establish a running game, it was Darwin Thompson who really came down the home stretch strong and proved that he can take over the reins as this Chiefs #1 running back. So, with hesitance, I will give over the reins to Michael to give his thoughts. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, no, I don't think he's quite ready yet. At some point, maybe next year, he can take over that role, but I just don't think he's there yet. I mean, he's played 4 games with this one. This one he put up 44 yards in 11 attempts and a touchdown. He averaged 4 yards per game.
And he hurdled a defender. Let's not take that away from him.
Right, but you do have to consider the fact this is against the Raiders, who are already a beat-up defense, and then they got beat up even more by the fact that it's the fourth quarter and the Chiefs put a pounding on them. It's
Yeah, they were pretty
31
defeated at that point, but I mean, you got to take into account how good he was when he was in the game. He's a smaller guy. He was able to get in between those big defensive linemen, and he made the Raiders' life a living hell. And I know that they were beaten down, but I think that he's got a really good chance to be the Chiefs' #1 running back going into this New England game and in the playoffs, because the Chiefs need somebody that they can give the ball to and he can pound it and just get those yards, extend the chains, and keep the game moving. And he's capable of doing that, in my opinion, because Damien Williams and LaShawn McCoy are good backs. I'm not going to say that they're terrible, but I mean, McCoy can't hold on to the ball and Williams can't stay healthy. So I think that Darwin could be the best option for this team.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that he seemed to have what felt like a better game than any running back for the team has had this year, which, I mean, that's something we need. The running game is something that has not gone well for us. But you also have to look at the fact that it's not a team we're going to play in the playoffs. I am concerned about the playoffs. I'm not concerned about what he does against, say, like the Cleveland Browns of 2017, who didn't win a single game. I want a running back who can play someone like the 49ers and do exactly what he did against the Raiders in the first quarter.
And that's why I think this Patriots game is so important, because he's going to come out with a chip on his shoulder, and he needs to prove that he is capable of being this team's running back, because I think that I've been on this hype train for a long time, and I think that all of Chiefs Kingdom knows that. Ever since we've drafted him, I thought that he could be the next Kareem Hunt, and we kind of saw it with the hurdling of the defender, but he doesn't need to be Kareem Hunt. If he can just be better than the running backs that we have, I mean, that's good enough, and I think that that's the point. At the end of the day, right now I think he's the best option for this team, and I think that he's going to get better, but like I just said, right now, who would you want to have over him? McCoy can't hold on to the ball, like we just said. Williams can't stay healthy, and Darrell Williams looked like he pulled his hamstring or his Achilles or something of that nature. So I think that he could really be this Chiefs' only running back that can succeed.
I will say this. I mean, Damien Williams, obviously, I think he needs to go. I mean, if we're looking for the next, Jamal Charles or Kareem Hunt or whoever, he's a fine transition back and he's fine at backup. But as a starter this year, he has proven to be pretty much useless, in my opinion.
Well, he can't stay healthy, and I don't knock that on him, but
even then, it's when he is healthy. He hasn't even shown the Damien Williams that we saw at the end of last season. That's why we made him the starter. McCoy obviously has had fumble issues. However, there were plenty of times today where I saw him covering up the football. There were plenty of times I saw him put both hands over as if, he was plowing through the thick of a
Well, you know
defensive
that
line.
Andy Reid's on the sideline saying if you fumble it, we're going to bench you. So,
Right,
I
and
mean, he
that's going to
can't
get a
afford to make any more dumb mistakes.
well, right, but I mean, you have to look at what he's done. I mean, he's averaging 4.9 yards per carry. He's only had 4 touchdowns on the season, but I mean, you got to look at things like what he did in the first game of the season the first game of the season, which was against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He put up 81 yards off of 10 carries, which was 8.1 yards per gain, and through most of the season, he's putting well over 4 yards. I mean, he's almost putting up 5 yards per carry each game that he's played in. So I just think that, using Thompson in a more relief role for, like, kind of like how tonight went after Darrell Williams came out. They pounded him hard at one point, and then they brought McCoy out. They used McCoy a lot because McCoy is a veteran, and McCoy still can play. He's obviously older, so he doesn't have as much stamina. But I just
See,
don't think
and
he's
that's the
quite
thing.
ready.
I don't think that Darwin Thompson has to be the only running back for this team. A running back by design where you have two backs like McCoy and
Mm-hmm.
Darwin. My biggest thing is Darwin was not getting the reps that he deserved. If he was in some of these earlier games, like against the Titans or something of that nature, the
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs would have been winning those games because I think that he's very capable of moving the chains, getting the first downs because he's so fast. I mean, I think that Darwin's faster than McCoy, Williams, and the other Williams. So to have that kind of speed and athleticism in such a small body, because like I said, he's not a big dude. He's under 6 foot. I think that I'm taller than him. But at the end of the day, he's able to take the hits, hurdle the defenders, and right now he just looks like he wants it more than all the other Chiefs running backs that are on the field.
Yeah, I mean that's a good thing. That gives him an edge. But at the same time, I'd rather have someone like McCoy or Williams cost us a game than a rookie who, in his first. I mean, he hasn't played much this season. So, like, to go hand him the reins right now, unless it's like the absolute last resort, if McCoy goes down, by all means put him in. Make him the
Well,
lead
obviously, that's
guy.
the only choice.
Well, right, but, we can sign someone out of free agency or pick someone up from the practice squad. We just signed another running back. But it's just I don't think he's ready next year. I mean, what it's going to come down to next season for sure is McCoy is probably going to be let go. He's got a 1-year contract right now. It's going to expire at the end of the year. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to think about retiring.
I think Williams'
Damien,
contract's up too.
yeah, Damien Williams is probably going to be let go. I've really liked Darrell Williams because he's kind of been that guy who can fill in when someone gets hurt. He'd be a good secondary back if we needed a secondary back, and possibly make Thompson number one. But even next year, I think possibly just use him as a secondary running back and find someone like another Kareem Hunt or I mean, even
Okay.
if
So I think what you're trying to say is you don't want Thompson being the sole number one running back. And I think that we're both in agreement
yes,
that he needs more reps because he's going to play and he's going to play well. But I think that I'm trying to understand that you just don't want him being the number one back at the moment.
yes, I don't think he's ready for it because I want a running back who can take a. Because I don't know how much you or how far back you remember, and I believe it was the 2013 or 2014 season. It was one of those 2 years. Jamal Charles was like the go-to guy on offense, and the Chiefs received a lot of criticism because we weren't passing the ball to receivers. They weren't passing the ball to tight ends or anything. It was just Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles ran the football for 20 yards. Jamal Charles just caught it 50 yards. Jamal Charles, Jamal Charles. You felt like it was just Jamal Charles and Alex Smith on the team. So I want a running back who can do that, and I don't think he can do that yet. And once he can do that, then give him the starting role. Then give him the number one place on the depth chart, and then
See,
use him
I think
as the
that
number one
I
running
think
back.
that whoever is running back needs to be more active in the passing game because that's what we saw with Kareem Hunt and Jamal
Mm-hmm.
Charles. We haven't really
But the
seen
thing
that
too
with
with Kareem Hunt,
Williams.
the thing with Kareem Hunt is it was a lot of screen passes. Sure, he would go deep every once in a while. Like, I mean, I remember there was the play against New England. It was his first game of the season, and he was motioned out to the outside, and he caught the ball deep and went for a touchdown. And, you know, it was an amazing rookie debut. But Jamal Charles was different. Jamal Charles would run deeper. He would have the screen pass. But they were both two different styles of running. Jamal Charles was more of get to the edge and outrun everybody, whereas Kareem Hunt was more of like, I'm just going to run you over. I'm just going to be more physical than you. I'm going to beat you down, and you're going to have to tackle me. That's the different styles. And out of all honesty, I think Thompson is kind of a mix between two, which is
See,
great.
that's what I see too, which is making me so excited to see what he can do if he was the number one running back. And I think that's the thing. I understand what you're trying to say, and I don't think you're wrong. My biggest thing is he needs more reps. If he
I
gets more
agree.
reps, I'm okay with that because I think that it's going to come down to a point where he's going to get the ball in a big moment, and I think that he's going to shine. So if Darwin Thompson can get those first downs, can move the chains, can be that beast like Kareem Hunt was where he just trucked guys and kept going, he's going to be this Chiefs running back for the future. But right now, if he can just get more reps and be a solid running back from not only the running game standpoint, but in the passing game as well, he will help this Chiefs team win Super Bowl 54. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys like these videos and want to support me, go click the link in the description and go support me on my Patreon. I would more than appreciate it. Thank you to Michael Hebner for joining me in this episode. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the KC Sports Report by Michael Darcy.